going to say for Alan having already failed the charisma check on that one, I would allow Alan to roll again on a 2.
Well, it could give the flyer back to you.
No, I strictly refuse. It's a 5.
A 5? 5, that's one of my favorites. Yeah, you're running across the road. As you're running across the road, you kind of clamber up a cart down the other side. But as you're running across the cart, you just barrel straight into and just smash apart a crate that gives an almighty cluck sound as you've just crashed through a crate of chickens. Roll me a d4.
Alan's done this before. I think, didn't Alan do something very similar in Old Haunts, at the start of Old Haunts?
The first story of Old Haunts, yeah. I think he's trying to escape through Shanghai and puts his foot through a crate. That's a 3.
Oh, that's a good one. You are lucky because the particular chicken that you've encountered is a friendly chicken.
Clucky.
So this chicken does not interrupt you too much. You kind of emerge with this chicken under your arm. It clucks encouragingly and gives you the help action. You'll get advantage on the next roll or saving throw you make. It also...
I am going to carry it over my head like Link and hope that I pick up enough speed to take off.
Phenomenal. On this occasion, you do not, but it does. You do feel something drop onto your head and bounce off. You catch in your hand. You've caught an egg. At some point, if you wish, you can consume this egg and gain 1 hit point.
Breakfast at last.
Brilliant. That is going in the inventory.
And I think we're back round to Farrier.
Okay.
So Farrier is still 2 behind, but with guidance and all your rolls.
Okay. Yeah, I'll keep going forward. We're still not within sight. I want to get within sight before I can really do anything useful, I think.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll just keep running.
There is one of these rolls that will allow you to do that. So roll that d10.
Okay. It's a 3.
Possibly the same pair of speeding horses as earlier. Oh, in fact, no, these are going to be different. I'm going to say, to lean into like the Mad Max way I was describing them, one's got like a minstrel with a lute on like a little palanquin on the back. The other one is some kind of like mechanical artificer created horse that's kind of like venting steam and smoke out of its joints. So and you have the choice again. You can try to avoid them with a DC of 11 on a dexterity saving throw, or you can try and get a lift from them with a DC of a 15.
I'm going to try and avoid them.
So roll out d20, add your dexterity saving throw, and add 4.
Oh, wow.
So I would add a d4.
Damn, that would have been really good. That's 19 total.
Yep, you definitely weave between these horses. One looks like it might catch you, but the kind of shimmering sparkles that are surrounding your body at this point just kind of like give you that extra nudge as your body morphs into the space in front of it and away from the horses. So you are keeping pace. You have not been damaged by these horses. You're still those 2 behind, but all right. Jack.
So it's some kind of horse festival in town then.
Yeah, you'll be aware this kind of street race is 100% illegal.
Yeah. So have I caught up a bit if I'm on this horse then?
The horse allowed you to pull closer once, so you still need to pull closer twice more to catch up.
Yeah. And now you say the rider's managed to chuck me off.
Yeah, so now you're no longer on the horse.
Right. 8. 8 is great.
8. Much like Wendy did earlier, you reach a gate. This time there's a little old woman again putting out her washing ahead of it, and again you can try and hop it with acrobatics, ram through it with athletics, or persuade the little old lady to let you through. And the difficulties are 12, 14, and 16 respectively.
Right, I don't have persuasion. And it's a 16 with persuasion.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to jump.
Okay, so that's a DC 12 with acrobatics you're aiming for.
Acrobatics. Not athletics, because I'm -1 on athletics.
Acrobatics is to jump over it. Athletics is to ram through it.
Right. Well, I don't have I'm doing it straight. It's a 6 straight up.
Okay, you do get to add 3 to that, I think, but it's still
Do I?
not enough. So it just takes a little, yeah, because you add your dexterity bonus to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just takes you a couple of tries to kind of scramble up and basically fall off the other side of this gate. You have fallen behind a little bit, so you're now 2 behind. You caught up once, so you're also in danger of losing them entirely. Wendy.
Yep, I'm just gonna keep on keeping on. 9.
Okay, this is a nice one. You get to a point where you're within basically line of sight of these people on the rooftops. There's a bit where you're running down an alleyway parallel to the roofs they're on. You can see them on the edge of the roof. If you want to, you could make some kind of ranged attack on them.
The only ranged attack I could make realistically would be with my grappling hook that's still got all the flies in.
I'll allow it.
What if I read them and stop?
You're within range to try and hit them with your grappling hook, and given this grappling hook, you could try and pull one of them off the rooftop. I'm going to say they're also going to get a chance to shoot down at you as you do this. If you do more damage, you pull ahead. If they do more damage, you fall behind a little bit.
Okay, let's do this then.
Although, aren't you doing the flyer person's job for them at this point?
Sorry?
You're doing the flyer jobs person for them. She was just one person handing out flyers. Now you're just spraying them off like a geezer.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to say this will be the cost.
Okay, yeah, so I'm going to do that then. 17.
That'll hit.
Oh, good.
Now, are you wanting to do damage directly to them, or do you want to try and pull them off?
I reckon just trying to pull one off the roof is gonna, well, it's gonna damage them anyway, isn't it? So.
Yeah. In fact, actually, I'm gonna say you can basically make like an inverse shove attack.
Okay.
With your hook.
And depending on the amount of flyers, would there be a slippage challenge for the other one? Are they glossy flyers?
They're not glossy. They're just
friendly
standard paper.
Okay. Not quite slippy.
They look like fairly eco-friendly. They're like non-dyed, so they've got that.
Right. Okay. So they probably have good tread on them then.
Yeah.
That's
And normally I would have said that was pushing your luck. However, a shove attack is contested by the person's athletics or acrobatics, and they rolled a natural 1.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to say, yeah, one of their friends has to make a dexterity saving throw. Otherwise, and if they fail, you will automatically pull closer to them at least once.
Awesome. Love it.
That's a second natural 1.
Wow.
Can the group pull forward 1?
Yeah, I'll allow that for sure. All of you basically remember you pulled forward once more. Great. I'm now going to roll the falling damage for the person that you hooked with the grappling hook. It's 1d6 per 10 feet. They're basically falling 20 feet, so 2d6.
Do I need a dex to make sure they don't fall on me?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
And then one of them is going to fire an arrow back at you. Does an 18 hit?
Yeah, that armor class is 18.
So that will just hit, yeah.
Okay, cool.
But they need to try and beat the damage you rolled on a d8, which is not going to be very likely. No, they do not. So take 5 damage.
Okie dokie.
5 piercing damage.
Yeah.
One of these people falls into basically a pile of refuse in the alley next to you, lands in a heap unconscious. Another person trips on some flyers, falls arse over tit on the roof, is only just clinging on by their fingertips and scrabbling back up, and this has delayed them.
And
so
someone with a chamber pot comes out the window.
So the whole group has pulled closer once. You've pulled closer twice as a result of this. So unit one more and you've caught up.
Cool.
Brilliant. Alan.
Roll for chamber pot.
Are you being serious?
What was that?
I kid you not, wait. So it's the don't know if you can see that. It's this one.
No.
She's everywhere.
The
2.
Here's the deal. I can't feasibly have you do this another time. I can't. And aside from the fact that we're stretching the limits of credulity, she's also out of flyers.
She heard the waft of the flyers from the roof.
So I'm going to say you look behind you and see a woman standing forlorn on the street, still staring daggers, but slightly sad daggers, after Wendy. And you think, in another universe, that person might have caught up to me just now.
Can I double back and hand her the one flyer that I've got?
You cannot. You failed a charisma saving throw. You were compelled to keep that flyer. All right, I'm just going to pick another one because I'm going to pick one of the ones we haven't had yet.
We haven't had yet. Yeah.
I'm going to say that that's a reasonable thing to do on a repeat. So you see two women in kind of work clothes, just overalls, carrying a pane of glass across the road in front of you. Your options are you could make an athletics or acrobatics check to try and avoid it. Athletics will be easier, acrobatics slightly harder because like flipping over a thing is definitely harder than just trying to slide under it.
Right. I think I've seen this episode of Laurel and Hardy. They're not actually holding anything, right?
Do you want to make that assumption, Alan?
Yeah. Or again, you could just try and smash through it and make a Constitution saving throw.
I am going to assume that there is a mime convention on and that these two are practicing and just go straight through the middle.
Absolutely. You know what? Glass is see-through. It's basically invisible. How do you know it's there?
Exactly. I just rolled a 22 on the con save.
I love this. So what I wrote for this was that you are going to take 1d4 of damage because it wasn't mime glass, it was real glass.
Yeah, fair enough.
1 point of slashing damage.
Okay.
But you crash through this thing, it shatters, the sunlight glitters off 1,000 shards of glass that scatter through the air in slow motion. You emerge running with newfound confidence after diving through this like an action hero, and you pull close. And you absolutely pull closer as a result of doing the action hero thing.
I love that you still have the chicken over your head as well.
Yeah. Ooh,
yeah.
Ooh.
Alan still has his emotional support chicken.
This chicken's getting a name.
Farrier. Give me that D10.
Okay. 4.
You also see two women in overalls carrying a pane of glass in front of you.
Oh no.
You can try and slide under it with athletics, you can try and flip over it with acrobatics, or you can try and just smash right through it with a Constitution save.
It's okay, Floria, they're just mines.
I only have 1 hit point. Can I shoot it with Chaos Bolt?
Yes.
Okay.
Fantastic. Do that. Roll me your spellcasting attack.
Okay. Oh wow. 24.
Cool. What does this look like as you shatter this pane of glass with your powerful magics?
I have to check what the damage is. What have I written down? Okay, so I draw back my claw and it's actually force damage. It's quite nice. So it's this wall of sort of invisible force just cannons forward.
Just that kind of cool ripple through the air. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah, and the two people carrying it basically pushed to the side to safety by the force of this. And they just look at each other and go, oh, again? And I'm going to say the street clears to as people dodge out of the way of this magic blast or are pushed out of the way by it, and you can pull closer as well.
Hey.
So you are now on 2 fall behind, 2 pull closer. So the next one you get either way is going to decide it for you.
Wow. Okay.
Jack.
Right, I've got this cunning action
Yep.
that I'm supposed to be able to use in combat, and one of the things I'm allowed to do if I use it is to take a dash.
Yep.
Any chance I can apply this now?
Yeah, if you take a dash as your bonus action, I'll basically say you can roll a second time with the D10 as we allowed Farah earlier, and I will let you have whichever one is better for you.
Okay, thank you. So I've got a 3 and a 10.
Actually, I'll let you choose because we've had both of these before.
Which one's the 3?
The 3 was the horses. So you could encounter more of these ridiculous horse races, or you could encounter a cool thing in a chest.
I am tempted by the horses just to hear you describe 2 more horses with people on them. I'll take the red box, please.
Amazing. So you rush past a crate that kind of bursts open as you accidentally hip check it. Inside is not a star. Inside you find a kind of weirdly glowing yellow banana skin, which you could throw ahead of you onto the rooftops.
It's more Mario Kart.
I was hoping for a blue shell.
So if you want, you can just throw that ahead of them, and the people you're chasing will need to make a dexterity saving throw, or you will pull a bit closer.
Yes, let's do that.
Phenomenal. I'll just make them make this check once. So the person who is slipping over the banana skin misses their dexterity saving throw by 1. They were aiming for a 16 and got a 15. Slips, falls again, nearly falls off through, but just scrambles back up. But you are gaining again. I think this puts you up to. This puts you up to having caught up.
I thought so.
Yeah. So you, at the end of the chase, will 100% have caught up, and you can decide how you want to approach that when you get there. Back to Wendy.
Cool. So, how am I looking in terms of how far behind I am?
I believe you were also on 2 dots of having pulled closer, so you're quite close now.
Okay.
They're still being a bit twisty and windy and tricksy, but you could get an idea of where they're going or get ahead of them with a bit of good luck.
Yeah, I think I'll just continue on then. 10.
I have to decide on another thing. I only had 2 prepared. I didn't think you'd roll 3 10s. Again,
is it a stack of flyers?
You run forward. You see ahead of you a chest which you basically bounce off of and jump across it. It opens up behind you as the jumping on it basically triggered the lock mechanism, and floating up behind you and following you is a what am I going to say?
A little cloud.
Yeah, sure. Basically, this is a little thing that's basically circling your head. The next time something bad happens to you, this thing will intercept it, so you automatically pass your saving throw.
Awesome, love it.
But otherwise, you haven't fallen further behind. You haven't gotten closer.
Okie dokie.
Alan.
Oh no. Is there anything we haven't done yet?
There are, yeah, at least 2.
I missed my dice tray. That was a 2. So 7.
This is unfortunate for you. And indeed, some of you predicted this. Unbeknownst to you, on one of the rooftops ahead of you, the wardens that have abducted Bustious have stumbled across a rooftop terrarium. in which are stored various magical creatures. And you see, flying towards you from one of these rooftops is a kind of dodging and weaving through the alleyways and avoiding pedestrians is a flying blue shell.
No.
Try. You don't get to roll. Try whatever you might.
Why
This
would
thing
you?
will hit you.
You don't get to save against the blue shell.
And you take 5 force damage.
Oh no. Oh no. Ouch.
And you fall behind a little bit as this thing knocks you over. How many times have you fallen behind now?
I think that's too many, definitely.
I think that might be...
One was the original flyer. One was the flying poop. And then...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that got you. So, yeah, you have lost them.
Oh, no.
Taken out by the blue shell,
I'll sit down
as is only appropriate.
And stroke the chicken, whose name I haven't decided on yet.
Fair. Farrier.
Okay. I'm scared now.
We've got one who's caught up, one who's out of the race.
Okay. I got a 1 again.
I can't have that happen to you again, can I? Can I?
What was? I can't remember what number 1 was.
It's the chamber pot. Yeah.
Oh yes, 100%.
You know what? Roll again.
Okay. It's a 4 again.
Okay. What's another chase scene trope I can hit you with? What are these two people carrying across the road?
Oh goodness!
Someone else tell me.
It's 2 oldish men, both quite mustachioed. One's tall and slim, and the other one's a bit chunkier. And
it's a ladder.
They're holding a ladder, and they can't decide which way to go because there's some horses running at them.
Oh.
Yeah. And they're just saying to each other, "You hold it, I hold it. You hold it, I hold it."
Or not quite.
Yeah.
What is happening in this town today? What is going on?
I love this. This is the best thing ever.
So yeah, you've got some choices of you have the standard choices of you can try and avoid it with athletics at 12, you can try and avoid it with acrobatics at 14, you can try and do some action hero shit on a 16, or you can just tell me how you want to approach this differently.
Oh goodness. There's a couple of options. I could Chaos Bolt again. I have 1 more spell slot. I could Produce Flame, or I could Mage Hand that's going to weigh too much to do anything with that, right?
You could tip it with Mage Hand. You wouldn't be able to hold it up, but you could give it a push.
Okay.
I'd allow you to make a spell casting roll with Mage Hand to basically try and push it so that the ladder will land and help you avoid some obstacles.
Okay, yeah.
It will be a difficulty of 16.
Okay. 11. No, that is only 15.
Did you say you rolled an 11?
No, sorry. That was 6 plus my spell casting so that made 11.
Oh, right, cool. So 11 total, alas. No, I'm afraid that you give it a push, it doesn't fall the way you want, the ladder crashes onto the street, wiping out the 2 mustachioed men, and sadly you as well. So you've fallen behind again, which means you are also out of the running. You've lost them.
Okay.
Wendy's the only one who's still rolling. Wendy, give me a D10.
Okay, here we go. 6.
I'm so glad you got this one. It's my favorite. You get to another road. You reckon if you get across this one quickly, you'll have caught up.
Okay.
There's a fair amount of traffic, horses, carriages, pedestrians going across it at different speeds and in different densities. So you'd almost say there's 3 different streams of this going across that you'd have to get past each one. You look down. Next to you, trying to cross this busy roadway, is a frog.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like you can't just let this frog try and cross on its own. You've got to help. Make me an animal handling check to try and help this frog cross these 3 streams of traffic.
And I actually have this as a skill, animal handling.
Ooh.
20. Not natural, but 17.
Nails it. Yeah. You look at the streams of traffic ahead. Time seems to slow down. In this moment, it is as if Wendy has seen the Matrix and just sees the optimal pockets of space for Wendy and the frog to hop into. You hop through one stream of traffic. You wait. You quickly go back, then forward again. Go across the final lane of traffic, and then just as you're about to get hit by a horse, the frog goes, "No, now!" as not out loud, but seems to indicate to jump now, and you hop across with the frog, and and like you two working as a team, it feels like you've both learned something about how to cross roads quickly. And you have caught up one more time, which means that I think you have also caught up. So we've got 2 who have lost them and 2 who know where they're going and can get there.
Oh, I love it.
So I'm now going to ask for Wendy and Jack. You both kind of see each other as you're getting on the home stretch. You've just seen the people on the roof start to climb down. After that one busy street, you've now reached a quieter area, kind of near the wall of this district. And Jack sees ahead of her that little kind of dilapidated shack that you think is probably the place that your prisoner told you about, that Sibylla told you about. How do you want to approach this?
I don't know about you, Wendy, but I'm feeling quite irritated at the moment.
Agreed. The wholesome Frogger episode is not enough for me to not feel annoyed by these people.
So there's 2 people and Bustious left.
Yep, absolutely. And you've just they're still kind of climbing down off the roof. You know vaguely where they are, and they're going to be heading to this hut. So I guess the question is, are you just trying to get to them? Do you want to kind of like sneak towards them? What's your...
Can we go to the hut and I explain? Firstly, I'm knackered. I'm out of breath. Hi, when, D, it's going to take me a while to tell her. But I know that that's the hut they're going to.
I don't know anything about the hut though, but I think I'd be fine with following Jack.
Yeah.
So can we do a boo thing at them?
Do you want to get to the hut first and jump out at them?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm going to say Jack can kind of lead on this. So make me a stealth check. I'm going to get into it unseen.
Stealth. Oh, I've got +5 on stealth.
I'm shocked.
15 +5.
Very nice. Let's just see what they get. Not enough. So I'm going to say, yeah, you can find, and I'm not going to make Wendy roll as well, because you've gotten here first. I'm going to say you can find a path that will get you unseen into the hut, and Wendy can follow you.
That's good.
Inside,
-1.
Inside the hut, you can see a little chest that looks like it's got some supplies in it. A little bedroll looks like maybe this is a place that people can come back to shelter and sleep if they need to. But the majority of the space is taken up with an elaborate circular set of kind of runes and geometric patterns. You can both make me an Arcana check to work out what this is, but it was kind of hinted at to you earlier.
Yes. Wendy, I believe this may be a teleport point.
Was that an 18 on Arcana?
Well, 17 +1.
Yeah. So that's enough to recognize exactly what the spell is, but Jack will roll as well.
Straight 15.
Yeah, you're both aware this is indeed a teleportation circle. This is it looks like this one is just kind of drawn on. It's not a permanent one, but this is a point where you can use to teleport from one circle to another circle. You can't teleport anywhere you like, but if you can cast a fairly high level, like a spell that, as you will understand it, takes a lot of skill and a lot of energy to cast, then you can magically go from one place to the other. I think as well, because there's like some geographical kind of like coordinates information encoded into this, with a bit of time, you might be able to reverse engineer where this is going to, or find something that might help you kind of like pinpoint it later.
Okay.
And I'm going to say you'll probably, having recognized the spell and made pass those arcana checks, you'll be able to remember those details later.
Okay, cool.
And if you want to hide in here to wait for those folks to follow, then roll me some stealth checks, both of you in this case.
Okay, so 16 minus 1, 15.
Oh, God. 8 plus 5, 13.
Okay, lower number is 13. Let's see what they get. Okay. I'm going to cut to Alan and Farrier now. Alan and Farrier, both kind of disheveled, dirty, a little humiliated by what the city has thrown at you today. You meet up again on the streets, having kind of slightly lost the trail. I'm going to say you could try and follow the trails left by Jack and Wendy to try and catch up, but it'll take you a bit of time, or you can just decide what to do.
I had good luck with smelling them out earlier, providing I can get over our own distinct odors right now.
I have a chicken and an egg.
Which came
If either
first?
of those things help at all.
Which one did you get first?
Funny, I don't actually remember. I'm thinking of calling it either Princess Leia,
No.
Shakira. I also have 0 clucks written down. Just Her Excellency, which I quite like as well.
And you could combine them. Her Excellency Princess Leia is great. A voice in your head says.
Thus mote it be.
I was going to say chicote, but it's a female chicken.
Yes, also excellent. Yeah. Do you want the egg? By the way, it's nice.
I actually could very much do.
Fresh.
Yeah, I could do with it. Thanks. I'll probably take that because
I'll give Florida the egg.
Okay, I will eat the egg.
Yeah, Gaston style. You crack the egg into your open mouth. Wholesome protein content heals 1 hit.
Yay!
I mean, if you think you can sniff them out, I'm happy to follow you.
Sure, I'll give it a go.
Yeah, make me a survival check. It probably would be to track them.
Ooh.
I'm going to say you can still have guidance from that last lingering star effect, but this is the last thing it'll apply to.
Okay, that would be 14.
Here's the thing. Wendy and Jack didn't leave a subtle trail behind them. This chase sequence has caused all kinds of chaos, and following that chaos or getting like eyewitness accounts from the people who were either involved in what happened or just saw what happened, you can catch up to them. With the 14, it'll still take you a bit of time. So there will be some stuff that can happen at the hut before you arrive.
Okay.
I'm just trying to work out if anything else will happen to you on the way. But let's cut back to the hut for now. You have taken your hiding places behind the various cover this little hut offers. You hear footsteps outside and 2 kind of muted voices kind of mumbling to each other and the sound of heavy breathing. Then the footsteps stop. And there's just this heavy pause in the air. Do you want to just keep waiting, or do you want to do something? Also, both of you make me perception checks.
15.
Oh, threw the wrong dice and don't know why I'm throwing that one. 18.
Cool. You both notice that. So when the footsteps stopped and the mumbling kind of stopped, and it sounded like they might have just been getting their breath back, you are kind of wondering what to do, and then you hear the faintest kind of scuffing sound from around the back of the hut, and you kind of peek slightly out the window, and you make eye contact with one of these people who's been seeking around the back, and it seems that they've spotted you, you've spotted them. You have a kind of fraction of a second to decide what to do next.
I'm going to jump headfirst out the window. I'm assuming it's not a very good window. But,
yeah, it's there's no glass, it's just an...
Grab my hammer, smash, throw the hammer ahead of me, hammer smashes the window, and I follow it out.
You know, I was going to say there wasn't any glass in this window, but now there was glass and you smashed it with your hammer. Make an athletics check to jump out the window.
Oh, God.
I'm tense. This is... Ugh.
I'm going to say the difficulty for this is going to be a 14. If you succeed, you'll effectively get a surprise round on the people outside.
I've got a -1 as well on this, so this is all good.
On a natural 20,
yes!
yeah, you throw the hammer, tinkle and smash of glass sounds out. You leap, twisting through the air, through the window, land in a somersault, rise to your feet with your weapons ready.
Picking up the hammer as I get up.
Yep. I'm going to say, because you got the natural 20, Wendy can also have a surprise round here. So
I'm going to go out the door.
That's fine. And we'll back to you. Meanwhile, the two of Faria and Ellen, who are slowly catching up to this place, I want you both to make me perception rolls.
Oh, no. Perception.
I have 15.
Oh, nice. 18.
Yeah, with an 18, Alan, you spot someone who seems to be following you. They're fairly nondescript, just wearing, you know, your basic kind of tunic, breeches, simple cloth hat.
Anyone I recognise or might have seen before?
Make me a history check to see if this is someone that you remember or have encountered. You've had your share of run-ins with the criminal element.
History is not good for me. Oh, 16.
Yeah, absolutely. You recognise this person as someone who's done odd jobs for a prominent, basically, crime family in the city. This is a family who were actually one of the founders of the League of Reasonable People, who is the faction in the city who first hired the Guild of Orderlies to enforce laws, and then said, if you don't like these laws, do something about it. We think we need law enforcement. So Guild of Orderlies has a kind of this kind of inbuilt corruption from its very start, because this crime family decided, you know what, eventually someone's going to decide there should be some kind of peacekeeping force here. If we get in on this from the ground up, we can make sure they're enforcing the laws that we like.
Smooth. I'll just... Sorry.
Yeah, so they've done odd jobs for that family, and I'm going to say in one of your previous adventures where you teamed up with Jack, that was when you encountered them.
Right.
And it seemed you have a vague knowledge that Jack's been in some way either has some ties to this family, either from their days as an orderly when they would be investigating this family, or there was just some. It just seemed when you had this adventure with Jack that Jack knew this person.
Right.
Yeah, and he's doing a fairly proficient job of following you, but you just kind of realized when you'd seen the reflection in a window a couple too many times that what was happening, and they're just across the street from you, pretending to buy an apple.
Okay. Who buys apples? Remember that episode, kids?
Oh my gosh.
Throwback. So I am going to nudge Faria, and I'm going to say, go find everyone else. I will catch up in a bit. And I'll hand her Excellency to look after.
Okay.
And I'm going to turn around, look straight at that person, and just walk straight towards him.
Fantastic.
So
And we'll cut back to that.
You're giving a chicken to a fox.
Yeah, but there isn't a bag of grain to mix. Unfortunately.
Marvelous. All right. Back at the hut. Jack has just leapt heroically out of the window. Wendy is just heading to burst out through the door. We'll give you a surprise round with them. We'll roll initiative. What do you both want to do?
I want to attack with my rapier and hammer. The time for talking is over.
All right. Make me your attack roll with your rapier first.
11. Do I have any modifiers on this?
Dex plus proficiency, so add 5. So that's a 16. And that will just hit. So roll your d8 damage with your rapier. You kind of faint. This person's kind of carrying a whip and a little dagger. They go to block with the dagger, and you just pull the rapier back and then dart it forwards again to hit them in the shoulder. What did you get?
I got the 2.
Cool. You add your dexterity modifier to that, so that's 5.
Okay.
So this person looks injured. It is a palpable hit, as they would say. You can also make an offhand attack with the hammer if you'd like.
I would like.
You only add a +3 to this.
Right, okay.
Because you're not proficient with the hammer, and it's your offhand.
4 plus 3.
Yeah, and yeah, the hammer this time they are a lot better. They kind of you go to hit with the hammer and they kind of lash out with the whip. It wraps around your hand and they pull it off course. Wendy, you burst out the door. In front of you, you can see a person with little kind of tentacles coming out of their hair. They're trying to keep it hidden under a little circlet and a hat, but it's not quite working. A couple of them still peeking out, holding a hatchet in one hand, the other hand glowing with kind of magical energy, and Bustious is kind of still floating to one side of them.
And I'm assuming if they've got hatchet in one hand, they're not going to sit down and talk. So I'm going to attack, I think. What do I have to attack with? So I'm assuming since we're kind of coming out quite quickly, I could still, I don't have to take an action to draw my sword or anything.
No, you can have your sword ready. Basically, you can actually draw your sword as an object interaction on your turn anyway.
Okay, cool. In that case, I'm going to lunge with my cutlass.
Absolutely. Give me your attack roll.
So that's a 14 plus which modifier, sorry?
Plus your strength, plus your proficiency bonus.
So 19, 20, 22.
That will definitely hit. Absolutely. You burst through the door. The door kind of hits them in the face a little bit, so they're surprised. Roll your damage.
So that's 1d8 plus 3.
Yep.
Whoops. My dice is gone. So, 1 sec. So that's 2 plus 3 is 5. Fantastic.
So, you basically, I think you just following on from the door, hitting them in the face, you just ram them in the face with the pommel of the cutlass to get yourself a bit more room. The blood starts streaming down their face. Now, can you both please roll initiative? And I'll roll initiative for both of these folks.
18.
9.
Oh, sorry, 17, because I've got a -1.
That's fine.
Great.
Sorry, 9. So that's 14. Oh no, sorry, that's mad. No, 12. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's the heat, man. It's the heat. It's getting to us all.
Okay, so Wendy is up first. After a couple of rounds of this, if it goes on that long, Farrah will have a chance to catch up.
Cool.
Yeah, what does Wendy do?
I think I want to try and, instead of decapitate with my cutlass, I think I'm going to try and knock them out, if that's with the pommel.
Yeah, absolutely. You can basically just do non-lethal damage.
Yeah.
So you attack as normal,
Okay, cool.
and if you reduce them to 0, they will not die.
Okay, cool. Okay, so... okay, 15 then. Cool. Does that hit?
Still hits.
Okay, cool. And then just the 1d8 plus 3 is normal then?
100%.
Okay, cool. So, 8. 11.
Yeah, this person is just kind of the glowing arcane glow in their hand is just coalescing into what looks like this weird glowing green jar filled with kind of little buzzing magical creatures, and you hit them on the head, it disappears, they slump and fall to the ground.
Yes!
It's the second time you've managed to take out someone with that stat block before I've managed to do their cool stuff. And it would have been that person's go, but they're unconscious, so it's Jack.
Right, I'm going to continue with my attack with extreme prejudice, rapier and hammer.
Brilliant. Give me that rapier roll.
That's a 1. So that's 1 plus 3, 4.
My internet today, sorry.
Yeah, that's not going to hit. So
No.
you thrust with your rapier again, and they just push one hand forward, push it to the side and step closer to you, closing the distance so you don't have the chance to stab at them as well. Roll with your hammer. So again, it's just that d20 plus 3.
8 plus 3, 11.
Still misses. They're too close to you now. So you try and swing with the hammer. They get an elbow up. You just don't have enough space to get a proper swing on them.
Can I... Hold on. Can I use my cunning action, please?
You cannot, I'm afraid, because if you're attacking with an offhand, that takes your bonus action.
Damn it. Okay.
You can still move if you would like to, but if you move away from them, they'll get an opportunity attack on you as you move.
No, I think we're in it now. I think
you're in it. You're in it, and it's their go.
Put down your weapon. You're under arrest. Did that work?
This person just looks a little confused that you're trying to talk to them while fighting and goes, "What's arrest?"
Yeah.
Is this a
Something
gazebo
really
situation?
to take.
And they try to basically wrap their whip around your neck to try and throttle you. But again, this is a real ugly fight. You just get a fist up so that they're trying to wrap it around your fist and your neck as well, and they can't quite get it in there. They're going to try it for something else and just straight up stab you. Does a 13 hit? What's your armor class?
14.
Yep, that'll miss as well. So try to stab you. Doesn't have enough force on it. You can kind of feel the point of the metal hit your side, but it hasn't gone through the leather. You think you'll have a nasty bruise there later, but you are not stabbed.
What else? Yeah.
Wendy, you have just knocked out this person who was basically pulling Bustious along by a rope. What would you like to do? You can hear the sounds of a scuffle from the other side of the...
Can I grab the rope? Because I don't want Bustious to...
Holding ropes is what you do in this.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely you can. Actually, in fact, I think you've knocked out the person who would cast that spell. So Bustious has just floated down to the ground.
Oh, floated. That's useful. Phew. Okay, so... I am going to check that the person that I've knocked out, I'm going to rummage and see if there's anything interesting they have on them.
Oh, yeah, go for it. Give me an investigation check. The DC is not high, it's just 10.
Okay, so we have... 10.
Brilliant. So I think what you find on them, they haven't got much on them, but they do have like a little necklace that has like a shield symbol on it.
Mm-hmm.
And in one of their pockets, they do have a little folded up scrap of paper that when you unfold it quickly, it's got arcane symbols on it that look like they correspond to the ones on the teleportation circle inside the hut. So you think this is the scroll that would cast the spell.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Do you want to do any? Do you want to move?
I'm quite happy to just leave Jack to do their thing, to be honest. Could I move over to Bustious to see if he's coming around or still out?
Yeah, absolutely. Make me a medicine check. Actually, I'll get you to make me a medicine check next turn because you've already done one action to search that person. Jack, this person's tried to throttle and stab you but hasn't succeeded. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm getting irritated now, so we're carrying on.
Excellent. So you kind of elbow out to give yourself room to make another stab with the rapier. Give me a roll.
First World War style, I'm going to do exactly what I did before because they'll never expect it. 10 plus 3.
No, it's plus 5. Remember, because you get your dex and your proficiency on your rapier because you're proficient with that weapon.
Yeah. 15.
That'll do it. Roll a d8 plus 3.
4 plus 3. That's another 7.
That's exactly it. So tell me, I assume as you were stabbing them with a rapier, this is lethal damage.
Yeah.
Great.
I've had it with people.
So you elbow them off you take a step, you do this exact same feint you did before. They fall for it a second time. This time you get a bit better aim on it. Just take them, stab them through the throat. They go down gurgling.
Excellent.
You're out of initiative. This is exactly the time that Faria would have arrived on the scene. You rush up to the hut. You just in time to see your friends finish this fight.
Yep, it's me smelling like piss, holding a chicken, probably some egg dribbling down my face. Like, hi guys.
You better cover Princess Leia's eyes. She's too delicate for this kind of stuff.
Are you feeling a bit better there? Are you? I think you're looking a bit perkier.
I'm feeling about the same as I was before.
Fantastic. We're gonna cut over to Alan. Alan, you've walked straight up to this person who was following you. There's a bit of a look of panic in their eyes as they realize that he's been made and that you're just bold as brass walking straight up to him. He kind of like was in the process of pretending to buy an apple, and in his panic he buys the apple, just drops a copper piece, takes the apple, puts it in his mouth and goes, me? Crunch.
Give me the apple.
Well, I'm just taking a bite of it.
Give it to me.
Grudgingly hands over the apple.
Snatch it off him. Just carry on eating it. Right, why are you following me? Why are you following me?
Also, with his mouth full, Sean's, I wasn't following you, was I? I was just out for a walk.
Yeah, right. I've used the out for a walk excuse myself. You can't kid a kidder, mate. This is a very good apple. I'm taking a bite.
All right, kidder. I'm trying to think of a one-liner and I can't do it. It's really hard. I'm eating an apple.
Yeah, not as easy as you think, is it?
Oh, I feel like maybe I should have practiced this. Do you practice?
Yeah, maybe you should peel off and think again.
All right, that one wasn't as good, so I'm less intimidated by
No.
you now.
Not my best work. Not my best work by a long shot.
Yeah, but no, seriously,
Come
do
on,
you
Alan,
think that?
Let's get to the core of the issue.
Oh,
Hey,
well played.
Oh, you got pipped to the post with that one.
oh my God.
Let's talk.
Oh,
So,
Let's talk.
oh,
that was brilliant. I like that one actually.
yeah, that one was actually really good. So the guy who's following you is just looking at you. Goes, so do you think that I should like practice quips in front of the mirror at home?
Yeah, 100%. What do you think I do?
Oh yeah. All right. Okay. I'll get a mirror and then I will practice quips in front of it.
Cool. So in the meantime, why are you following me again?
Oh, I was not. Make me some kind of roll to get this person to open up to you. You can persuade, intimidate. You can deceive if you want, but you'd have to let me know what you're saying.
What am I good at? Oh no. The answer is nothing.
Yeah.
I will attempt to persuade.
Brilliant.
Persuasion roll is 15.
Cool. So this person was rolling insight to try and kind of see through your efforts to persuade him and resist. He rolled a 16. He has a -1 to his wisdom, so it's a 15. So that will go to you because you hit the difficulty effectively. So he goes, okay, look, you feel like really approachable and like, honestly, I feel like we maybe have some things in common. I feel a sense of, yeah, exactly. I feel a sense of kinship is what I'm saying. So I feel like I can tell you, right, that I do some jobs occasionally for certain interested parties around the city, you know, some of the higher ups, you know, people maybe connected to the council, and they asked me to like follow these. They said something might be happening around this area. They didn't say how they knew, but they said there'd be some people like out of towners who might be trying to do something, and that I should just follow them and anyone they interact with and work out what's going on. I lost them, but you were chasing them, so I followed you.
Yeah, that was a really bad choice because I lost them as well. So
yeah, I'm now seeing what's happened and really
yeah, bet on the wrong horse there, mate.
Yeah.
Should have followed the fox.
Oh, I see what you did there. That was really good. Yeah, see, that's what practice gets you.
See, this is literally all I do with my spare time. So, well, tell you what, I think you should probably go back to whoever that is. Tell them that you lost them, but me and my friends are on it. And if they want to know what's going on, they can contact us directly. How's that sound?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. That's fine. And you are?
What do you mean? Alan, sure. You've heard of me, obviously. I get around a lot. He has not.
Heard of you. And you can kind of see this look on his face of, you know what? I don't want to disappoint this person. This person seems cool. And he says, yeah, Alan, sure. I've definitely heard of you. Yeah, wow. I'll tell them that.
Just
also, like, once I've told them that, I was just gonna say, once I've told them that, do you want to meet for a drink and we can you can talk me through this whole quipping process? Because I really think there's a lot I could learn from you.
That's a hard pass. Thank you very much. And I'm just going to walk away.
So those of you at the shack, the fight is over. One person is unconscious. One is on the ground bleeding out.
Can I search that person, please?
You can. Cool. Make me a investigation check.
I've got a +8 on this. 9. Good job I had a +8 on this. 17.
Yeah, again, there is not a lot on them. It looks like again they've got a little necklace with a little shield symbol on it. This one didn't have any kind of magical paraphernalia, but you do find kind of tucked away in like sewn into the lining of their jacket. You just are kind of patting them over and you feel something there. And it's like, and you kind of rip it open and there's a little notebook inside. The notebook doesn't seem to have anything inside that you immediately understand. It seemed like this might be some kind of cipher. Oh, in fact, actually, there's a second thing you find in there, because this is a person found something earlier. So as well as you also find a larger book that looks, this one was like a little tiny little reporter's pad that had the kind of cipher in it. You find a larger book that is leather bound, quite nice looking. Inside it's all handwritten. Again, this seems to be in some kind of code. With that investigation check, I'll tell you that this is it looks like they're different codes. And on the back of the larger book is written property of Professor Bustious.
Yeah, I've got quite the library now because I'm still looking around a history of portal interactions. I'm going to need a bigger bag.
You're accumulating all the paperwork.
Yeah.
Which feels nice, feels right.
Yeah. So having searched them and got this, I'm now going to swagger, an actual swagger, around the corner, still holding the dripping blade to meet you.
Astonishing. Jack, also make me a perception check.
Ooh, what's my perception? 19 plus 3.
Ooh. You see that the person who you just stabbed in the throat is kind of clasping their hands around their neck and basically has pulled off like a little bandana they had around their head and is in the process of tying it really tight around their own throat and is starting to crawl off. This person, for those at home, rolled a natural 20 on their death saving throw, meaning they come back up to 1 hit point.
Okay, so I'm going to turn around and go back to them.
Yep, this person's kind of just crawling along the ground quite stealthily, but realizing you've seen them, tries to go a bit quicker, and you just grab one foot and just drag them back towards the shack. Meanwhile, Wendy and Farrier.
Can I really quickly bring Farrier up to speed as to what's just happened?
Yes, absolutely.
So somehow Jack knew about this place, this shack, and these two came in, so we had to dispatch them.
That's fair. Alan gave me a chicken.
Ah, wonderful. Great.
She's very nice.
Dinner.
Oh no, I couldn't. Alan would kill me.
I've knocked this person out, and I'm just trying to figure out if Bustious is still with us.
Okay, can we make a check on that?
Yes, you can both, in fact, now make me medicine checks.
Cool.
Can I move a bit closer to them as well?
Yeah, you can all get basically clustered together.
Okay.
Well, I just got a natural 1.
I got 12.
Yeah, Wendy, he's dead. Farrier seems to be breathing.
Okay.
Slowly, steadily, unconscious, but breathing.
Perception is not Wendy's, like... She has moments, doesn't she? I mean, she's a badass.
Seriously? Just every time.
She does have a moment.
Yeah, I think what happened with Wendy, rather than like checking for breath, just went straight for the pulse, and you just got slightly the wrong place. Didn't get a pulse.
Okay.
So sad. Bustious passed.
Is there any way we can dispel is he still levitating, or is that power?
No, he is. In fact, you all have seen this happen as you approached. After Wendy bopped the person on the head and they fell unconscious, Bustious just started floating gradually back to the ground.
Okay, cool.
I'm wondering if we should tie up the other person. I don't think I have any cable ties on me.
I have rope, I think, in a Dungeoneer's pack.
Could we use some of the rope to tie this person up?
Yeah,
we will
absolutely.
do that.
Make me either a survival or a sleight of hand check, whichever's better. And you can make it an advantage. Whoever's rolling can roll with advantage because you have the help action from.
I have a +3 on survival. Fari, do you have?
Oh no, you go for it.
Okay. 12 + 3 is 15.
Yeah, you think you've done a fairly good job. Got the night, like you spent your time on ships. You know your knots. Nice tight knots binding their hands and feet.
Cool.
And I think, do you want to do both of them? Because the one that Jack has dragged over, you could tie them up as well.
What do we need then? Or shall I finish them off?
Well, there's really no point in killing people who are prone, Jack.
Really?
Yes.
Come back.
Just back off while I tie them up.
Great, and yeah, they are both firmly tied. After there's a second to have that discussion and a minute or so to tie them up. As the tying up is more or less finished, I think Alan kind of wanders onto the scene as well.
What? Our #1 fighter. Eating an apple.
Yeah. Who's dead? I'll take Princess Leia back off of Faria.
Okay, hand you the chicken.
Thank you very much.
Got chicken under one arm, apple in the other.
Classic Alan.
What are we doing?
Well, we've got Bustious.
Oh, good. Is he dead?
No. Don't listen to Wendy. He's talking.
Before, right? I'll just
When-
kind of lean over and just give him just poke him in his ribs.
Yeah, you give him a good poke, and he starts to stir and come back round to consciousness.
Can I
Wendy,
just jump about 3 foot in the air?
Yeah.
Oh my god! It's my necromancy finger.
For a minute, Wendy, you were convinced that Alan has just raised Bustious as a zombie, and then you think, wait, that's absurd.
It's like when you suck
Alan
your fingers up my
couldn't.
nose.
Alan couldn't do that on purpose. Might do it by accident. Not on purpose.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And so, yeah, and Bustious starts to come to, kind of groggily looks up at you. Oh gosh, got rather painful. Ooh, ow, my noggin. Oh, Alan, jolly good. I assume you have rescued me from something.
Yeah, but he's not sure.
Why not? You have caused so much trouble, you have no idea.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I don't like to cause. What have I done this time?
I think you should probably start by telling us, don't you?
Well,
Okay.
I have down here that you are currently accused of conspiracy to commit sentient trafficking.
Se-
And I'll point to Jack and go, see? Trouble.
Sentient trafficking. That doesn't. Oh gosh, that doesn't sound like the kind of thing I'd be involved in at all. You're gonna have to give me some tips here.
Did you or did you not start talking to people from another bloody dimension and invite them over for tea?
No, I really don't think that I did.
Do you know somebody called Anna Hiss?
No, doesn't ring any bells. Is that like two separate names? Is like Anna, surname Hiss, or is this like an apostrophe situation?
Don't get cute with me, Bustious. Or
Darling,
I'll
I'm
see
cute.
your ass.
I think Bustious says, "Darling, I'm cute with everyone."
My God, I love this guy.
But no,
Yeah.
but no, honestly, none of this ringing any bells. Everyone can make me an insight roll if you want.
7.
Insight's not terrible. So
18.
17.
10, actually, with my modifier.
So we've got an 18, a 17, a 10.
11.
Cool. The 17 and the 18, so Faria and Alan. Yeah. What's odd is that it doesn't seem like Bustious is hiding anything. It doesn't seem like he's trying to like lie about mistakes that he's made or trouble that he's caused. He's got generally no idea what you're talking about.
So who's...
How hard did you get hit on the noggin exactly?
Mhm.
Well, judging by the size of the bump, I'd have to say fairly hard. Why do you ask?
I'm just going to look at everybody else and just go, this needs someone with more brains than me. I'll just stand up and just like carry on eating.
Of course, could we perhaps, assuming, where are we?
Where are we?
We are standing outside a portal of teleportation that is being run by some shadowy organisation from the Tangle. Professor Ambrose Mab is dead. We are trying to find out what you're doing, and you seem to be in cahoots with some guy called Anahis to traffic people through irregular channels into this city. Now, you're in a lot of trouble, mister. Sorry, are you a professor or a mister?
Professor.
Yeah,
now,
well, when I'm shouting at somebody, I want to get their title right, okay?
And I appreciate that.
Okay, Professor. So you better start coming up with some answers with all this intelligence you've got. By the way, we've recovered some of your stolen property here. Something called Posset. Posset?
Posset. No, it's not ringing yet.
Bookcase.
Oh yes, I own many bookcases.
Do you have one with legs?
Oh, not yet. Maybe I should add legs.
I don't think you
follow
should
me around with all the books so I never forget them. That's a fantastic idea. I should get on that.
I would pause on any of your projects for a little while, probably.
And Bustious kind of looks around and goes, "Look, as far as I can tell, we're not too far away from my house. Perhaps we could continue this discussion there, and I can make everyone some tea."
You know these people who stole him? Did you say they had squiggly tentacly bits?
One of them has little tentacles coming out of there.
Are we dealing with an alternative Bustious? Has there been some bloody shapeshift around the place?
I'm just thinking, I wonder if they've wiped out a little bit of his memory, because if he doesn't even remember Posset, that's quite a big gap.
But he remembers you, so Posset must have come after he met you, at least for the first time.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that sounds plausible.
Could be true.
Like he mentioned when he asked you to go and get what turned out to be Posset, he mentioned that it was a project he'd been working on for a while, but like a recent project.
Right.
I'm just going to quickly hand my water skin to Bustious. Suggest you drink a bit of it.
Yeah, Bustious has a little drink, goes, kind of suppresses a little cough and goes, "That's terrible. I'm going to have some more."
Excellent.
Just starts wandering off in the direction of his house, sipping from the liquor in your water skin.
Yeah, I'm going to grab that back off.
I'm going to Faria, do you know of any spells that can change people's minds and make them forget stuff? Or
give me an Arcana check.
Or maybe we need to take him back to Squiggly Wiggly and see if
14.
Yeah, there are various kinds of spells that do affect people, like charms or enchantment type stuff like that affect people's view on the world. You can't think of anything specific that might wipe someone's memory or change someone's memories like that, but it's entirely feasible that it does exist.
Could we perhaps bring our two prisoners back with us somehow, because they might know what they've done to him? So
are you saying this out loud, or is this a question for me, the GM?
This is Wendy out loud. Well, why don't we just wait for these two to come back to their senses and ask them?
Well, I'm not dragging them anywhere.
We could ask.
That one be dead.
What was that, Alan?
We could get in touch with Anahis, and they got inside our heads, so if they can get inside his head as well, maybe they can tell what's going on.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. And Bustious chimes in with, "Well, I tell you, if we need to get these two back to my house and have it not look suspicious that we're carrying two tied up people, I have something that could help." And Bustious kind of makes some arcane gestures, some kind of glowing like runes appear in the air, and he mutters an incantation to himself, and the air around the two tied up people kind of starts to shift and shimmer, and they are replaced by what look like two people, fairly nondescript, just standing there, going. Now, if you pick them up, you'll have to kind of feel for them, but it'll just look like there are two people walking along next to you.
That's quite cool.
I'll
grab one of them.
I'll grab the other.
Just before we go, is there any way we can disable that teleporter?
There's a what?
Can we disable the teleporter before we go?
No, there's a teleporter. You're going to have to. Is it inside?
Yes.
Yes, I've got the scroll here.
And she says, "Oh, fascinating. Right, let's see. Well, this one you could just like scrub it out. This one's kind of just like been drawn on chalk. It looks like chalk on cobblestone.
Yeah, just people. We want to disrupt these people, don't we? If nothing else.
Let's scribble out some of it and
Yeah.
make a mental note of what we've scribbled out in case we need it later, and I'll keep the scroll.
I said someone who knows what they're doing. Someone who knows what they're doing could probably fix that. But if it's just someone who's just been told use this to do this thing, then they won't be able to make it right again.
And nobody will be able to come into it.
It'll break.
No, they'd have to send someone to fix it first.
Yeah. Let's just scrub out one of them and.
So you just go at it with your sleeve and your nails, and you manage to make a couple of well-placed breaks in the runes in the circle.
I'm going to keep the scroll then, if that's okay. And it is because I said so, so it's going in my backpack.
I'm also not going to tell Bustious that I've got his book yet, because I don't trust him yet.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Cool.
And you all head back through the streets. No one kind of bats an eye at the two people who are walking beside you, because they just seem like two very nondescript people.
Cool.
And you get back to Bustious' house, and as you walk in the front door, Bustious leads you kind of into the living room and says, it's in quite a state of disarray. He goes, "Oh, someone activated the animate object on my sofa. How rude, frankly. I'll just and like points a kind of finger and basically casts a couple of cantrips to kind of put things back together and clean them up a little bit. And as you all go into the room and start to take your seats, there's another shimmer in the air. It looks a lot like what happened when when Bustious cast the illusion on your two prisoners to make them seem like they were just regular people walking alongside you, but bigger. And it kind of coalesces into an image of Bustious. And this slightly shimmery, hologrammy, illusory Bustious kind of looks around the room and then kind of coughs once or twice, goes, and says, hello, is this illusion on? Oh yes, I see the little red glowing arcane orb. Okay, hello friends, law enforcement, possible enemies. If you're seeing and hearing this, it means that something has gone very much awry, and I have been forcibly removed from my home. What I'd love to do here is tell you some salient information about what's happening and who took me, but honestly, it could have been anything. I seem to have upset a great deal of people in recent months. It could have been some of those dickheads from the college who are jealous of my facility with complex enchantments and dangerous explosions. Perhaps it was the priests of ego who took exception to my recent proposed paper on artifice-based souls and sapience. It might have been a shadowy group that approached me saying they represented interested parties from the city council who offered to fund my research once the grants from the college had run dry, which they were just about to do. Or I suppose, it could have been... I just dropped my dice box. As I was gesturing.
I could just imagine Bustious doing that, though, just being like halfway through the recording.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I'll clean that up later. It could have been, I suppose, this latest project I've started working on with my pal Ambrose. But honestly, friends, acquaintances, or strangers, I have begun to suspect that my recent run of bad luck has been somewhat more substantial than I suspected at first. You see, in recent times, I've had the great distinction to have achieved a magical feat that few would have believed possible. Indeed, that some would say violates the very natural laws of the universe. It's long been theorized that those rules of existence can be bent in this way, but only at a cost, because once you've bent those rules, they have a tendency to snap back with a vengeance. Those who manage to harness this power of kind of, bending those rules of reality and sacrificing to achieve that, we in arcane circles tend to call them breakers. I suggested benders because that more matches the bending the rules, but I was told that was already taken for something else and it's copyrighted. Anyway, yes, the dean told me that. Anyhow, I guess I'm one of them. I mean, anyone possibly can be one of them if they're committed enough, I suppose. And unknowingly, to create my great work of magical accomplishment, I may have accidentally sacrificed my reputation or my good luck to achieve that, and that's why things are going rather tits up. So yes, if you're watching and hearing this, you may be wondering what the point of me leaving this message was. Well, that's a very good question. Well, here's the thing. I can't be too specific because literally anyone who wandered into my house after I've been forcibly removed from it could hear this. But here, I'll take a small gamble anyway. If you find my diary, there should be pertinent information therein if you can decode it. Indeed, that may be the only place to find that pertinent information, because I can tell you right now, as soon as there's even a whiff of something untoward happening to me, I am going to modify my own memories so fast to prevent myself from spilling the beans under duress. Seriously, I'll wipe my mind so fast you may as well call me the window cleaner, because I'm so good at wiping. Anyway, if you find my diary, decode it or whatever, and maybe find this project I've been working on too, and you'll probably be in a good place to start getting to the bottom of this. Also, please, find out where I am and save me. I'm a squishy wizard who does not get any physical exercise, and I cannot tolerate pain. In the name of the wall builder and the candle bearer, please, anything but pain. Help. And then it kind of peters out and then starts again from the beginning. And
for the love of the gods, somebody please shut it up.
The real Professor Bustious is sitting there going, oh no, that'll basically run forever. Tell you what, give me a second. I can probably dispel it. And Bustious again makes a few more arcane gestures, does some incantations, and eventually the thing kind of just winks out of existence.
Press 1 to play again.
Bustious, you're an idiot.
Am I?
Yes.
Or am I a genius?
No, you're an idiot.
Yeah, I'm probably with Jack on this one, actually.
I think history will decide.
So that diary, is that one of the books you've picked up, Jack?
Don't keep it down! Keep it down! Don't tell him that.
Oh, sorry. Is that one of the books you picked up, Jack?
I think it might be. Bustious, imagine we find this diary at some point. Could you explain to us?
Which he has.
Yeah. Could you explain how to translate it?
That will depend how much of my own memory I erased, because I do tend to write the whole thing out again in a different cipher every month or so. So, it depends how far back I went. You know, anyway, I feel like you will have to fill me in on what's happened here because, as we've all just found out, in the dark. I think you got most of the things in the random encounter table. The one thing you didn't get, which would only have happened if stuff happened in a really specific order, was that if Faria, after getting the star, had then gotten the blue shell result, it just would have bounced off you.
Okay.
And that was like my favorite thing.
What will you
Bounced off and hit someone with a chamber pot.
Will you tell us what would have happened if we convinced somebody to open a gate?
Oh, yeah. If you convinced the old person to open the gate, the old person would have opened the gate, listened to you and gone, and just immediately understood, this is really urgent. And basically, they would have torn off their sleeves, revealed themselves to be insanely buff for an old person, given you a piggyback, and you'd have caught up twice.
Oh
my gosh.
Wow.
Oh, that's genius.